Now let's explain Surangama Sutra. Back into the main topic. Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda, Ananda, since you now wish to know the path of samatha, today you like to know what is true meditation. What the true meditation is, seek to be liberated from samsara, to transcend birth and death. I will ask you a question. At that time, Sakyamuni Buddha raised his golden arm. Mine is a yellow arm. Sakyamuni Buddha's body is golden. Look at the Buddha images, and we call them the golden bodies. So he extended his golden arm. So what is the 5 wheel fingers? But the 5 wheel that we often talk about is the earth, water, fire, wind, and space. In Tantric Buddhism, which one represents earth, do you know? This is the earth, water, fire, wind, and space. So the 5 fingers represent the earth, water, fire, wind, and space. That's one way to explain it. The other is that in his palm there are the 1000-spoke wheel. One of the 32 major marks and 80 minor marks, and at the soles of the feet and on his palms. This is called the 5 wheel fingers, forming a fist, and said to Ananda, do you see this? And Ananda said, I do. Of course, the Venerable Ananda would say he did. And the Buddha asked, what do you see? What do you use to see? The Buddha asked, of course, using with the eyes, seeing with the eyes. Ananda answered, I see the Tathagata raising his arm, curling his fingers into a luminous fist, radiating brilliance upon my mind and eyes. It's like a luminous fist. His fist can radiate light. The fist becomes luminous. Sakyamuni Buddha can radiate light everywhere, and infinite light all around him. And of course his arms and fists also have lights. So the fist is luminous. Radiating brilliance upon my mind and eyes. And the Buddha said, what do you use to see? Ananda replied, I, like the rest of the assembly, see with my eyes. And the Buddha said to Ananda, you answered me. The Tathagata calls his fingers into a radiant fist that illuminates your eyes and mind. Your eyes can see, but what do you take as the mind that perceives the radiance of my fist? So, what mind do you use to see my fist is radiating light? Ananda replied, the Tathagata, Sakyamuni Buddha, now ask me where the mind is, where the true mind is. Now I use my mind to carefully examine and deeply search. So, when I am thinking carefully and searching, that's the mind. Ananda replied. He asked me to use what? To see? I said with the eyes. And where's the mind then? Ananda said, I use my mind to carefully think. That's the mind. Like this character, it's very rarely used now. It's like, bah. Ananda, that is not your mind. So Ananda was shocked. Sakyamuni Buddha was scolding him, startled. Ananda stepped out from his seat, joined his palms, stood up, and said to the Buddha, if this is not my mind, then what should it be called? The Buddha told Ananda, this is your own seeing of all phenomena in the Sakha world that confuse or your own Buddha nature. From beginning time until now, you have mistaken the thief to be your own son, so you have mistaken your own true mind. That's why you lost your true Buddha nature. That's why you undergo the cycle of birth, rebirth. You only know the fundamental root of birth and death, but you do not know the real Buddha nature. That's why you are bound by the transmigration in samsara. Let me tell you, what the eye sees is not necessarily true or real. He will continue later. So what the eye see is not necessarily the fact or the truth. Why? Because everything in this world is ever-changing and impermanence. There is no such thing as reality. They are all causes and conditions. Everything is causes and conditions. Let me give a simple analogy. We know when the Confucius was going all over the countries during the era of spring and autumn, the warring states, he was born in the state of Lu or Santong. He left his homeland at Santong province and went to all over the place. So at dinner, I asked, why did Confucius want to go all over the place, wander to different countries and left home? because at home he could not stand his wife. Confucius has said, the most difficult ones are women and petty, devious people are grouped together with women. So he did not feel well at home. So he brought his followers or disciples wandering all over the countries. So why? The reason Confucius went all over the countries? Because he left home. So I have read a book that's called Confucius Divorced His Wife. Confucius said, that's it, I'm leaving home. And he left, divorcing his wife, and brought his disciples going abroad, going all over the different countries. And one time he went to a place called Chencai. You all know, right? He was entrapped at that place because there was famine, no food to eat. He was bound there. Could not proceed, or could not retreat. So, resting in the afternoon, and the disciples went out to ask for rice and then cooked the rice. Confucius was taking a nap and closed his eyes, and the rice has been cooked, and he saw a very good disciple open the cover of that rice pot and use his hand to pick a glum of rice and place it in his mouth. And Confucius saw that before the master is taking the meal, how could such a good disciple open the cover of the rice pot and then ate the rice first? And Confucius thought, oh no, how could such a good disciple also stole rice before I even eat, and felt really bad. And then later he investigated into it, and it turned out because the rice that they begged for had some that was bad, like with the husk or some dirt on it. And when the disciples saw that, he's a very honest and good disciple, so he took the bad parts and not wanting to waste it, ate it. So, and left all the good part to Confucius. So finally, Confucius stated, what the eye see is not necessarily true. He saw it with his own eyes, that the disciple took the lump of rice and ate it. But that was not the case, because he took the husk and the dirt on the rice, and then he ate that, and then gave the good part to Confucius. That's why Confucius said, that's the mistakes, the errors that the eyes make. So even what the eyes see are not necessarily right, necessarily true. So that's why we are being cheated by our own eyes. So therefore, it's not easy to know the truth or the true reality, even if you see it with your own eyes. Especially in the Saha world, it will talk about it in the latter excerpts. Why? What the eyes see is not true. It's not the reality. The beginning of Zen Buddhism, the Buddha picked a flower and Mahakasyapa smiled. That's the beginning of Zen Buddhism. So Mahakasyapa, seeing Sakyamuni Buddha, pick up a flower and smiled because his heart mind understood what the Buddha was saying. But the rest of the people are befuddled. That's why he was the first patriarch of Zen Buddhism. Just now, Sakyamuni Buddha raised his golden arm and hold the fist and did not say anything and asked Ananda, "What did you see?" And he said he saw that. And of course he would say, "Get out of here." Because that's not the mind. That's your eyes. It's not what you deduct. Primarily, he's trying to tell you what is buddhanature. Like Bodhidharma giving Dharma teaching, it was packed with people. He got on the stage, sat for a while, tapped on the desk and said, "That's the end." And then he walked down and everybody was wondering, what was he talking about? That's buddhanature. So he raised his golden arm, holding a fist. That is buddhanature. If you can understand, you can understand. But Ananda said, "Oh, that's golden arm, radiant fist. How can it be radiant fist? It can be open and change and with like playing the puppet show. It's impermanence, everchanging." Buddhanature is non-arising and non-ceasing, and it's not fixed. It is eternally present. It exists forever. It's very difficult to explain.